There we go. All right, I'm going to try to get out while it gets good before we get more traffic here. All right, we're going to live stream this vertically today. All right, live at the lakes of Rowlett, Texas. You'll have to let me know if you think I should have gone vertical, or horizontal rather. I'm vertical now. Springfield Park, Rowlett, Texas. I'll show you once I get set up here. Make sure we're live. It says live. This ain't a bad spot right here. I mean, where you can see the two lakes. I know what I need. Need to grab a water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. All day, every day. Then restroom, restroom, restroom. It's a balancing act. All right. Bear with me here. My notes. There's my notes. I actually prepared for this today, folks. Believe it or not. Okay, I'm going to set you down for a half second. Bear with me. Oh, I do have it. Okay, there we go. Alright, sorry about that. See if that killed us for no content on the screen for a couple of seconds. Alright, there we go. Let's see what we got. And you don't do it every day. You don't really have a routine built up. But it'll be worth it once I show you what I'm looking at here. Here we go. You don't have to look at my mug. Alright, let's see here. Zoom in. Yeah. We're here at Springfield Park. Some of the people are coming out to enjoy the sun today. It's a beautiful day. All right, must be live. We got one person. Hopefully I don't have my finger in the way of the camera. All right, we're gonna start over here at the bank. This would be the East Pond, actually. Smaller of the two. All right, getting the chat screen set up so you'll be able to see your messages. All right, here we are live at Springfield Park, Rowlett, Texas. On a beautiful Saturday morning in January at ASXCED. Now, fishermen do come out here. There's a lot of bank fishing here, actually. And the ponds are stocked by the Texas Department of Wildlife. They're stocked with bluegill, channel catfish, largemouth bass here at the two ponds in Rowlett, Texas. JP GOOBOY, JP Good Boy. Hello. Good morning. I sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of content in this channel, so feel free to browse about for the nature videos, the hiking, the music. I'm a big music guy, so I have cover tunes I perform, original music. Hopefully we don't have too much wind noise here. But just a little station identification. My name's Baron Smith. I have the BaronSmithPicker brand, BaronSmithPicker.com. And today I decided to do a little hiking and exploring here in Springfield Park in Rowlett, Texas. So there is some interesting, rich history to this land. Rowlett Creek and the associated land was originally granted to Daniel Rowlett, hence the name of Rowlett Creek and the city of Rowlett, Texas. So for his service in the Texas Revolutionary War, he was granted this land, and it is now currently in the form of 2 lakes, 2 ponds. I call it the Texas Wildlife has reports on how often they stock it, what kind of fish they stock it with. So it's very well organized here in the state of Texas, but there are frequently quite a few fishermen out here, and they all have their favorite fishing spot. In fact, I just walked away from here. Let's flip the camera. I'll show you where a good friend of mine and his 2 boys used to come out here. This is just one of many spots we would come to. I mean, officially what the Texas Parks and Wildlife stock it with are channel catfish, bluegill, and largemouth bass. But yeah, this is a favorite spot because it's not very far from the road. It's easy access for one thing. So a lot of time this spot is occupied, set up for bank fishing. Nature lovers come out here for bird watching, and exercise enthusiasts come out here for a nice outdoor walk, get some fresh air. And here comes a flock of geese on cue right now. They're flying just above the water. Oh, water landing by that one. Here we go. Yep, they're talking. Good morning to the geese. There we go. It really is a beautiful morning. A little bit of wind out of the east. Donald Sharp, 2625. Sorry, I didn't see you chat right away. I'm kind of getting all my settings set up here. So good morning, Donald Sharp, 2625. You guys have any interest in hiking or fishing or bird watching or music? Coming off my first in the wild live music gig in 25 years, so kind of celebrating. Do a little hiking, exploring, and bird watching. All right, we're gonna continue on. Got some movement in the chat channel, so I'll give you an update. My name is Baron Smith. I'm with the BaronSmithPicker.com channel, enterprise, whatever you want to call it. It's my ecosystem where I generate live music, original music. I have a podcast inside the studio with BaronSmithPicker.com. All things music. So feel free to browse about my channel, BaronSmithPicker.com, if you want to just come in from, the domain. Takes you to my YouTube landing page. But today we're focused on nature, hiking, bird watching, and all things post-holiday. So if anybody has any suggestions or recommendations what you'd like to see while I'm out here. All right, let's pivot back over here to the pond. There we go. A bit of wind picking up, so apologies for any wind noise. All right, we're going to continue on our journey. Make a little progress around the pond here, the East Pond at Springfield Park in Rowlett, Texas. Got a fisherman up here on the bank. Bank fishing is pretty popular here. Actually, he might be a bird watcher. I don't see a fishing pole yet. Anyway, we're going to continue on our hike around the pond. This pond, Springfield Park, or the ponds of Rowlett, the lakes of Rowlett, it has several names. It's 1.7 miles of paved walking trails and many more unpaved trails. Morning. Actually was a fisherman. Once I got closer, I realized he was casting. Yeah, I opted for the vertical view today. I know it's a little easier to watch on your phone. Horizontal is better for laptop or PC watching, but let me know your preference. And of course, like and subscribe. I love subscribers. I love chatters too. If you have any favorite hobbies you like to do outdoor related, we're actually coming upon a good flock, a flock of fowl, you might say. Either ducks or geese. Cast a line, biggest complainer. Yeah, there was a gentleman casting a line. I just walked past him, but he hadn't been here very long. We'll just do a casual pan of the pond. A lot of fishermen come out here. There he is across the way. We'll zoom in. Fishermen, bird watchers, hikers, explorers. Sometimes you just need to get outdoors for a little bit, clear your mind, so it's good for that too. After the holidays, all the chaos of the holidays are behind us, folks. We're in a brand new year. BaronSmithPicker.com is ready. I've got another podcast in the queue. I'm going to work on, get it edited and uploaded. I think it will be episode 7 of All Things Music. Yeah, here we go. Information. Oh, we have one single launch, a water takeoff. There he goes. He's airborne, folks. He decided to stretch his wings for a little bit, making a circle. He's probably the scout looking for predators. Here he goes. Here he goes. He might be taking a look at me to see if I'm a threat or not. But all of them are starting to chatter. All right, cast a line. That's actually a good idea for a song title. I like it. Reminds me of a Miranda Lambert song. She's got many good songs. Speaking of Miranda Lambert, take a look at my very first podcast. I'm talking about a hat that she actually custom made. So this Miranda Lambert hat, it's Texas themed, painted like the Lone Star State. And the brim is actually surrounded by 33 beer bottle caps. I mean, it's an original. But yeah, she made it in 1999, kind of as a hobby and also make a little extra money. My mom owned Lone Star Cafe and Club at the time in Dallas, Texas, and Miranda Lambert was just getting started in her career. She played down at the Lone Star Cafe and Club. Some of you folks may remember that know me. Her dad helped her put the band together, and it was one of the all-time best stage and studio bands I believe I've ever heard, especially the steel player. To get a hold of his name, and I'll put it in the comments. But anyway, she made this hat, and my mom gifted it to me several weeks ago. So I have since donned this custom-made Miranda Lambert hat in all of my podcasts so far, inside the studio with BaronSmithPicker.com. So check it out. I'm talking all things music. I'm going to start working on setting up some interviews with people. I've already pre-interviewed several with some very good, interesting stories. I mean, just for example, one gentleman was telling me about he was doing some work at Tom Landry's house back in the day, and he gifted him with a panel to go to the bridge as he had his belly from when it was constructed. Anyway, I hope to do some interviews this year, so stay tuned. That's the long and the short of it. Okay, I'm going to show you these ducks because I have calmly and casually ambled up on them. They're pretty fearless. You know, they're pretty confident out here. This is their safe place. So I'll respect that and back away a little bit. Now all the ducks are gathered. Like I say, it's a very popular spot for bird watching. So we got all these ducks on here. Are there any bird watchers out there? Pretty shy. This is a come as you are type environment. Friendly. I'm just a good old boy here walking around the pond this morning in Rowlett, Texas, at the Springfield Park. We're going to do a slow pan around the pond. Once again, this is the East Pond. Cast a line, throw a rope. I got to be careful about singing. They'll intermittently interrupt me, as I've seen in the past. But that's okay. I understand copyright laws and rules. That's why I write my own songs. Reminds me of a fantastic Waylon and Willie song off the WW2 album called Write Your Own Songs. Semi-true story about the business of Nashville. Executives, basically suits versus talent, and the friction that ensues. Basically, Waylon's telling them, you don't like our songs, then write your own songs and see how well they do when you sing them. It's tongue-in-cheek. But anyway, back to the pond. Yeah, once again, I'm BaronSmithPicker, BaronSmithPicker.com. and we're doing a little live stream here today at Springfield Park in Rowlett, Texas. It's the two ponds, the east and west pond. People come here for bank fishing, bird watching, hiking, relaxing, content creation. But I'm basically just doing a little hiking and exploring today. This is the west pond, okay? We got the east pond and the west pond. This is the west pond. It's actually the larger of the two. Yeah, Texas Parks and Recreation actually stock these two ponds. Make sure I say that right. Yeah, again, this was it's off the banks of the Rowlett Creek, which originates in Collin County, which is where Daniel Rowlett was originally granted his land, and they named the creek and the city after him. And the creek actually ventures all the way to Rowlett, Texas. And this was originally basically a floodplain, and it was used for agriculture before the land was developed by the Springfield Housing Addition. So Springfield got its name from all of the homes that surround this area. They're set back from the east pond along Dexham Road. And there's some more. That's the Springfield Housing Addition here in Rowlett, Texas. I mean, there's a pretty significant tree line in that direction, but there are homes behind it, part of the Springfield Housing Addition. But they're set back far enough to where you're basically out here in nature. And if you're here long enough, you kind of fall under the illusion that you're in the wild blue yonder. But there's also a remote controlled aircraft field in this direction I'm pointing to the north. So once we venture over there, I'll show you that. It's a little too windy for anyone to be flying their remote aircraft today, but their takeoffs and their barnstorming and loop-de-loops are pretty impressive and amazing to watch. It's really a great hobby. It's separate from drones. These are not drones, these are remote controlled aircraft. But again, we're making our way around the west pond. I guess the legal name would be the Lakes of Springfield Park. Yeah, so in 1989, the bulk of this land, 117 acres, was officially donated to the city of Rowlett on October 1st, 1989. It used to be part of the Rowlett Creek floodway. It was developed, actually it was undeveloped bottom land used for agriculture, as I mentioned earlier. Then it was basically left wild until the suburban expansion of the late 80s. Like I say, the bulk of this land, 117 acres, was donated to the city of Rowlett October 1st, 1989. And now it's this beautiful greenbelt nature preserve. So that's a little bit of history behind the lakes of Rowlett. Actually, one of my favorite fishing spots is directly across from me. I don't know if I can zoom in on it. It was far enough away from the road and things to have a little bit of privacy, but there are tons of spaces for bank fishing. A little windy, a little chilly today for my taste. But I did pass one undeterred fisherman as I came in. Morning. mentioned earlier, it's popular for hiking. There's 1.7 miles of paved hiking trails. I don't have a free hand to translate the last comment from Hamaha's FP2WU. Does anyone happen to have a translator handy? They can cut and paste that and tell me what he just said. But I do appreciate you joining the live stream, chatting with us today. Yeah, I thought I might be able to get an interpretation on that, but I can't. Do a little bit of ambience here as I continue hiking. I've temporarily disabled the chat feature so we can have the full screen of nature here at Springfield Park in Rowlett, Texas. So this is basically a hiking outdoor stream, just to give you a little context. I'm BaronSmithPicker of BaronSmithPicker.com. I do podcasts, live streams, music videos, cover music, and original music. Today, I put on my hiking hat, my Indiana Jones outdoor hiking and exploring hat. So, like I say, we're here at the ponds of Rowlett Creek. So, let's get back to the nature. Enabled the chat feature again. We've got an incoming chopper, so that's what you're hearing right now. Looks like a police helicopter, if I were to guess. All right, we're now happening upon a bridge here at the ponds. Like I say, years ago, this was a floodplain, so smart folks in the engineering department dug out this trench for proper drainage. So this bridge was constructed here after the land was granted to the city of Rowlett in 1989. Nature preserve, enjoyed by hikers, fishermen, bird watchers, and now content creators. It neighbors a remote control aircraft field, as I mentioned earlier. Would say we are now going against the wind. I would sing it for you, but I might get copyright strike. I actually need to work on some Bob Seger music. He's got some really good tunes. That's the other thing I'm working on with the BaronSmithPicker system. cataloging, organizing my music so I can be fully prepared for 2026 with new shows, new podcasts, new live streams, much more from BaronSmithPicker.com. So make sure you subscribe, because this is kind of like a cable channel, multiple cable channels, because if you get bored with one subject or topic, keep checking, because I've got a wide array of interests and hobbies. I've got a rock garden at home I've not even explored online yet, but maybe I'll do that at some point, show off my rock garden, kind of a zen type place. This is part of the 1.7 miles of paved trails here at Springfield Park. As I mentioned earlier, the entire land grant consisted of 117 acres. That segment over there is a soccer field, also the home to many, many geese. Seagulls. It was named Springfield Park after the housing addition that was constructed, but the original land was granted to a gentleman by the name of Daniel Rowlett for his service in the Texas Revolutionary War back in the 19th century. So we've got the Rowlett Creek, which comes down here from the bulk of his land grant in Collin County, Texas. And this was by proxy part of his land as well, as it flanks the Rowlett Creek that runs through adjacent to Springfield Park. Little background. But this is for the newcomers to the channel, to the live stream. Got the joggers out now and the dog walkers. That's the fisherman that I was talking about earlier. He's one of two. There's another bridge. The pond is pretty high right now. It's just below the paved walking bridge over there. It's my north. Construction, the engineering department. Underground pipes. Netting. This is basically, like I say earlier, very popular for bank fishing. So we'll continue on our hike. I'm part of the 1.7 miles of paved walking trail. That's what I was saying. It's 117 acres total that was granted. To the city of Rowlett, and then they developed it into this, stocked with bluegill, bass, channel catfish. Hopefully the wind noise wasn't too bad today. This is part of the rest of the green belt, part of the 117 acres. Kind of a master planned nature preserve. So on the sidewalk up here is some dried corn. I know they use it as deer feed, but they put it here on the sidewalk to feed the ducks and the geese. So all the bird lovers, bird watchers come out here, nature lovers. If you ever get a chance and you're in Rowlett, Texas, be sure you check out Springfield Park. You'll be glad you did. Mrs. BaronSmithPicker and I come out here from time to time, and this is kind of a favorite spot of ours. this bench. Yeah, this is one of our favorite little spots. We'll come hang out here at the bench, just kind of watch nature. So I'll let you enjoy the view with me. Here's a little slice of land that kind of juts out before the West Pond wraps around. Ends up close to Highway 66. That's the remote control aircraft field. That strip of green going to the north. There's more open land, all part of this green belt portion of the 117 acres. Several joggers out already today. So just in the short period of time I've been here, I've encountered a couple of fishermen, a few joggers, nature lovers, dog walkers, and me. East Pond. Look at our and the ducks, a duo of ducks, a gaggle of geese, a flock of fowl. Definitely check out the channel, BaronSmithPicker.com. My YouTube handle is @BaronSmithPicker. Make sure you like this video, as they say. And please, think about subscribing. It's free. I'll give you more entertainment than your cable channels. Saw the dog running. It kind of caught my eye, but he is accompanied by two hikers. Yeah, here are the ducks. What a beautiful morning, folks. Beautiful. I'm actually zoomed in, so I'm not as close to the ducks as it appears. Don't want to disturb them, just wanted to share their beauty with you. There's the mallard up front and center, standing tall. Quite the heron there for the mallard. Actually, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least half a dozen mallards. And the geese are further back, already in the water. Narrating the ducks reminded me of the golf announcers, commentators. The jade's shining color head of the mallard braces himself against the wind on the banks of the East Pond. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Jack Nicklaus steps up to the tee box, checks his line of sight, strikes the ball with ferocity, and it's airborne. That's a 450-yarder, folks, by Jack Nicklaus in his prime. All right, folks, thanks for indulging me. I'm going to wrap it up here. I don't want to steal your whole day, but I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please click the thumbs up button and consider subscribing. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. Go out and make some history. Other than that, I'll see y'all down the road.